Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
So this morning we are reading from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Lila, chapter 5, text 22. Chintamani Karasat Mashukalpa Vriksha.
Chintamani Prakasad Masukalpa Vriksha.
Lakshavrateshu Surabhira Vipalayantam.
Lakshavrateshu Surabhir Abhipalayantam.
Lakshmi Sahasra Satasambrama Sevyamanam.
Lakshmi Sahasra Shatasambrama Sevyamanam.
Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami.
Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami.
Chintamani Prakarasat Masukalpa Vriksha.
Chintamani Prakasad Masukalpa Vriksha.
Lakshavrateshu Surabhira Vipalayantam.
Lakshavriteshu Surabhir Abhipalayantam.
Lakshmi Sahasra Satasambrama Sevyamanam.
Lakshmi Sahasra Shatasambrama Sevyamanam.
Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami.
Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami.
Chintamani.
Chintamani,
Touchstone.
touchstone.
Prakara.
Prakara,
Groups made of.
groups made of.
Sadmasu.
Sadmasu,
Inabodes.
Inabos,
Kalpa Vriksha.
Kalpa Vriksha,
Of desire trees.
the desire trees.
Laksha.
Laksha,
By millions.
by millions.
Avrateshu.
Avrateshu,
Surrounded.
surrounded.
Sarabi.
Sarabi,
Sarabi cows.
Sarabi cows.
Abhipalayantam.
Abhipalayantam,
Tending.
tending.
Lakshmi.
Lakshmi,
Of goddesses of fortune.
of goddesses of fortune.
Sahasra.
Sahasra,
Of thousands.
of thousands.
Shata.
Shata,
By hundreds.
by hundreds.
Sambrahma.
Sambrahma,
With great respect.
with great respect.
Sevyamanam.
Sevyamanam,
Being served.
being served.
Govindam.
Govindam,
Govinda.
Govinda,
Adipurusham.
Adipurusham,
The original person.
the original person.
Tam.
Tam,
Him.
him.
Aham.
Aham,
I.
I.
Bhajami.
Bhajami.
Worship. Translation and purport by His Migration of Prabhupada. I worship Lord Govinda, the primeval Lord, the first progenitor, who is tending cows, yielding all desires and abodes built with spiritual gems and surrounded by millions of purpose trees. He is always served with great reverence and affection by hundreds and thousands of goddesses of fortune. Please repeat. I worship Govinda,
I worship Govinda,
the primeval Lord,
the primeval Lord,
the first progenitor,
the first progenitor,
who is tending cows,
who is tending cows,
yielding all desires,
yielding all desires,
in abodes built with spiritual gems,
spiritual gems,
and surrounded
and surrounded
by millions of purpose trees.
by millions of purpose trees.
He is always served with great reverence
He is always served with great reverence
and affection
and affection
by hundreds and thousands
by hundreds and thousands
of goddesses of fortune.
of goddesses of fortune.
This is a verse from Rama Samhita 5:29. This description of the abode of Krishna gives us definitive information of the transcendental place where not only is life eternal, blissful, and full of knowledge, but there are ample vegetables, milk, jewels, and beautiful homes and gardens tended by lovely damsels who are all goddesses of fortune. Krishnaloka is the topmost planet in the spiritual sky, and below it are innumerable spheres, a description of which can be found in Srimad Bhagavatam. In the beginning of Lord Brahma's self-realization, he was shown a transcendental vision of the Vaikuntha spheres by the grace of Narayana. Later, by the grace of Krishna, he was shown a transcendental vision of Krishna Loka. This transcendental vision is like reception of television from the moon via a mechanical system for receiving modulated waves, but it is achieved by penance and meditation within oneself. Srimad Bhagavatam, 2nd canto, states that in Vaikuntha, the material modes of nature represented by the qualities of goodness, passion, and ignorance have no influence. In the material world, the highest qualitative manifestation is goodness, which is characterized by truthfulness, mental equilibrium, cleanliness, control of the senses, simplicity, essential knowledge, faith in God, scientific knowledge, and so on. Nevertheless, all these qualities are mixed with passion and imperfection. But the qualities in Vaikuntha are a manifestation of God's internal potency, and therefore are purely spiritual and transcendental with no trace of material infection. No material planet, even Sanchaloka, is comparable in quality to the spiritual planets, where the 5 inherent qualities of the material world, namely ignorance, misery, egoism, anger, and envy, are completely absent. In the material world, everything is a creation. Anything we can think of within our experience, even our own bodies and minds, was created. This process of creation began with the life of Lord Brahma, and the creative principle is prevalent all over the material universe because of the quality of passion. But since the quality of passion is conspicuous by its absence in the Vaikuntha planets, nothing there is created. Everything there is eternally existent. And because there is no mode of ignorance, there is also no question of annihilation or destruction. In the material world, one may try to make everything permanent by developing the above-mentioned qualities, but because goodness in the material world is mixed with passion and ignorance, nothing here can exist permanently, despite all the good plans of the best scientific brains. Therefore, in the material world, we have no experience of eternality, bliss, and fullness of knowledge. But in the spiritual world, because of the complete absence of the qualitative modes, everything is eternal, blissful, and cognizant. Everything can speak, everything can move, everything can hear, and everything can see in fully blessed existence for eternity. The situation being so, naturally time and space in the forms of past, present, and future have no influence there. In the spiritual sky, there is no change because time has no influence. Consequently, the influence of Maya, the total material energy, which induces us to become more and more materialistic and forget our relationship with God, is also absent there. As spiritual sparks of the beings emanating from the transcendental body of the Lord, we are all permanently related with Him and equal to Him in quality. The material energy is a covering of the spiritual spark, but in the absence of that material covering, the living beings in Vaikuntha are never forgetful of their identities. They are eternally cognizant of their relationship with God in their constitutional position of rendering transcendental loving service to the Lord. Because they constantly engage in the transcendental service of the Lord, it is natural to conclude that their senses are also transcendental, for one cannot serve the Lord with material senses. The inhabitants of Vaikuntha do not possess material senses with which to lord it over material nature. Persons with a poor fund of knowledge conclude that a place void of material qualities must be some sort of formlessness, of formless nothingness. In reality, however, there are qualities in the spiritual world, but they are different from the material qualities because everything there is eternal, unlimited, and pure. The atmosphere there is self-illuminating, and thus there is no need of sun, a moon, a fire, electricity, and so on. So one who can reach that abode does not come back to the material world with a material body. There is no difference between the atheists and the faithful in the Vaikuntha planets because all who settle there are freed from the material qualities, and thus the suras and asuras become equally obedient, loving servants of the Lord. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharani Nirvashesha Sanghavani Pastanashandesh Tarani Om Ganatamaram Shantanandanam Shlakayam Chaksharo Militam Vina Tasamai Shri Gurave Namaha Mukam Karoti Vachalam Kangam Nam Gayate Gitam Yakritamaham Vande Shri Guru Vinatana. First I'd like to say, to begin with, I feel very happy to be in New Vrindavan, to be in the atmosphere here, and I very much appreciate New Vrindavan because the atmosphere here is saturated with all the bhakti and all the service and all the years of sacrifice and surrender and love that went into serving Srila Prabhupada's mission here and serving the lotus feet of Sri Sri Radha and Madhavan Chanda. And when you come to New Vrindavan, you just feel that. So wonderful. So I'm very happy to be here, and I thank all of you who are the inmates of New Vrindavan. So this is a very wonderful verse from Brahma Samhita, and a very beautiful purport by Srila Prabhupada describing the nature of that transcendental realm. And I was reading it, and I was thinking it almost sounds like a, what do they call those? You get those tourist brochures describing some beautiful resort that has amazing accommodation. What do they call those? All-inclusive. It's like an all-inclusive resort. Everything you can eat, and the resort has 10 swimming pools, and there's so many servants, and all the people that work there are so happy and blissful. And this description is beyond that. A place where there's eternality, knowledge, and bliss. So that's something that's very difficult to describe, very difficult to understand for a conditioned soul. Srila Prabhupada described in Bhagavad Gita, and actually purport to the verse of Vitaragamaya Krada, Manmanamam Prashita, Bhava Tapasa. Sorry for that. But the verse describes one who is free from attachment, fear, and anger. Describes the importance of becoming free from attachment, fear, and anger, and containing perfection, love for Krishna. And in that purport, Srila Prabhupada describes that often conditioned souls will hear the eternal nature of the Supreme Lord, the eternal nature of the soul, and an eternal spiritual abode. And not only is it inconceivable to them, but it actually is a little frightening. There's actually a little fear behind it. And Srila Prabhupada explained that because the conditioned soul, for so long, has been in existence which is temporary, which is filled with misery, and filled with incomplete knowledge and ignorance, that is their entire experience in conditional life. So if they hear of something different, that's eternal, full of knowledge and bliss, it's beyond their comprehension. And Prabhupada described they will carry that materialistic conception of being temporary, miserable, and ignorance. They'll carry that into the description of the spiritual realm. They will not be able to assimilate that. And he was explaining that's why people are so attached to impersonalism and voidism, because they're actually frightened by that concept of eternal spiritual existence. So Srila Prabhupada, he described that one will not be able to understand that spiritual realm and become free from that fear until he hears from a pure, unalloyed devotee who can transmit that pure understanding of that spiritual realm. And we are all so fortunate that Srila Prabhupada has delivered all of us from that material world, which is so much filled with voidism and impersonalism, which makes it so difficult to understand the nature of the transcendental realm. We are so incredibly fortunate that Srila Prabhupada has come to the Western world and delivered this knowledge of the Supreme Personality of God and His transcendental. That's such a great fortune that He's saved us from that nirvishesha shunyavada. So Srila Prabhupada is also explaining here how in that transcendental realm it's free from these qualitative modes of material nature, goodness, passion, ignorance. Completely devoid. Even goodness. In material, Prabhupada describes here the highest quality is goodness, but in the material world of goodness, it's always infected to some greater or lesser degree with the modes of passion and ignorance. But in the spiritual realm, it's unalloyed, pure Shuddha-sattva, pure goodness, pure, unmotivated, selfless, loving devotion to Krishna. That is the atmosphere of the spiritual world. And the process of Bhakti Yoga is actually the process of understanding the nature of that spiritual realm and understanding the process by which we can become freed from those qualities of material nature. So we can come out of the modes of passion and ignorance to the mode of goodness, to the mode of pure goodness, and then eventually back to the spiritual realm. So that process is to extricate ourselves from the qualities of material nature. Daivesha gunamai, mama maya darajaya, mam evidevi prapajyante, maya vitantaradate. Krishna describes that these modes of material nature, they're very difficult to overcome. But he said, one who surrenders unto me can easily cross beyond those modes, can get free from that influence. Prabhupada, he described one time that the influence of that energy, the modes of material nature, is like the mouth of a cat. And how sometimes you will see the mother cat carrying the kitten in the mouth. And the kitten is feeling protection from the mouth of the mother. And sometimes you also see that same cat, within its jaws, will have a rat. And the rat, Prabhupada said, is feeling the jaws of death. Actually, in Vancouver one time, there's many rats. And one day I heard this shrill screaming. At first I thought it was a child. It was so high, such a high-pitched noise. I thought, maybe this is a child in great distress. So I looked outside, and it wasn't a child. It was a cat with a rat in its jaws, and the rat was screeching. That's the nature of the material energy. So Maya once described how for those who want to turn to Krishna, she acts in a way to assist them in turning to Krishna. And for those who want to be independent, separate of Krishna, she acts in a way to facilitate them moving further from Krishna. So in Bhakti Yoga, we have a process in which we can come closer to Krishna and try to become free from those modes of material nature. And those modes of material nature are very subtle and in some ways very difficult to overcome. Even as devotees, we experience that. In the instructions of Lord Kapila to his mother, he describes how devotional service can actually be rendered within the modes of material nature. Even devotional service, we can render that within the influence of material nature. And he gives one example to his mother, how he says one may worship the deity one may offer all respect and worship to the deity, but if one is envious of others, Lord Kapila says, he never pleases me by his service. So I can be pejorative in rendering service to the deity, but I can be displeasing Krishna because I'm envious and not properly respectful of the Vaishnavas. So Prabhupada describes this like you have these three primary colors and you can mix them. Prabhupada describes that 3 times 3 is 9, and then you multiply again, it comes to 81. So Prabhupada says the different processes of devotional service can be rendered within the different influences of the modes of material nature. So ultimately, what we want to become free from those modes of material nature, to pure goodness, and become free from those infections of the modes. I thought it was nice this morning after class. This morning, they were reading. Was this from Namamrita? After Mangalarti, I'm sorry. After Mangalarti. It was a little class, and they're reading from Namamrita. And they're reading from a section where Prabhupada was quoting Tranadapi Samijana, Tarorapi Samijana, Amahina Madhina Kirtaniya Sadhari. How we have to develop this tolerance and patience and the ability to respect others and not want respect from others. And we were talking about this just recently in Gita Nagari, how this is such an important verse. We're trying to describe how one should wear this, one should string this on a thread and wear it around one's neck. And Srila Prabhupada, actually, when he was still Grihastha, and he had his pharmaceutical business, one of his godbrothers, Dr. Obi Kapoor, he once asked Srila Prabhupada, in a kind of a joking way, because Prabhupada, he had a pharmacy. And so he said, he said, and he saw Srila Prabhupada was a very effective preacher, as a Grihastha even. So he asked Srila Prabhupada, he said, do you have some formula for getting Krishna prema, getting love for Krishna, pure love for Krishna? Prabhupada said, yes. And Prabhupada quoted this verse, Tranadapi Samijana. And he told his doctor, Kapoor, he said, I'm going to spread this all over the world. Prabhupada said that back then. And Prabhupada did. And that's why we're here. Because Prabhupada, he took that formula and he brought it to the Western world. That simple formula, developing humility, and patience, and the ability to offer respect. And so it's a tonic, and especially because we've been conditioned by allopathic medicine, where in Western medicine, everyone just wants to take a pill that's going to solve all their problems. You go to an Ayurvedic doctor, he might give you some pills, but he's probably going to give you a diet, some exercise, and many different things you can do and not do. Several of our associates, our godbrothers and godsister, are in Vrindaban doing some regime, Ayurvedic regime, and it's very rigid what they have to do for their cure. So they're taking some tonic, they're taking some medicine, but there's also a lot of work they have to do. So devotional service, it's also like the Srila Prabhupada has given us the tonic, he's given us the formula. Even as described, one who engages in devotional service to the Lord, he develops all the good qualities of demigods. So again, we might think it's just automatic. So it is automatic if you do the necessary work. And that necessary work means that we actually work to clean our heart, to engage in the process of devotional service, to develop those qualities of humility, patience, and tolerance. One of our god sisters, she was telling us when she went to Mayapur, and she was on parikrama, traveling with multi-day parikrama, so many devotees. And she said every temple she was praying, my dear Lord, please help me become patient and tolerant. And she said the next thing she knew, in the group she was traveling with, in her small little group, there was little groups who would travel together. There was one lady, and she said, who was the most annoying person she ever met. And she was thinking to herself, why is this happening? I'm here in Mayapur, trying to take shelter of Krishna. And then she said, she realized, I was just praying for this. I was just praying to become tolerant and humble. And Krishna's given me this amazing opportunity to become humble and tolerant. So those qualities come not by, let's say, they don't come without some endeavor from our side, don't come without some work. So it requires our effort to develop those qualities, to see when we're being influenced by the modes of passion and ignorance, to detect if I'm becoming critical or envious of others, when my false pride is coming. It'd be nice if one of our IT devotees could develop a meter that could detect which mode of material nature we're in. If we're in modes of passion or ignorance, and we can say, okay, I have to. But in a sense, we do have a meter that the meter for our devotional service is that we are satisfied in our service, and we are developing a gradual, continually increasing attachment to worshiping the Lord and hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. If that's increasing, then that's a symptom of our advancement. But if we feel our enthusiasm waning, our attachment to chanting, we're feeling internally dissatisfied, then very likely we need to see that there's something I need to do to extricate myself from those effects of the most material nature. So sometimes, even as devotees, devotees have a hard time processing their negative experiences, negative emotions. I may feel frustrated or depressed in my situation or my service, and it's very easy to get locked in those states of consciousness and not see some way out. But actually those experiences, those emotions are actually a signal from Krishna. Just like if you're walking and you step on a thorn, you feel pain. And that pain is actually Krishna's mercy, because if you did not experience the pain of the thorn in your foot, you would ignore it, you would leave it there, it would eventually become infected. The infection might get worse, you might get gangrene, and eventually you might have to amputate your leg. So the pain is actually your friend that I have to do something. So somehow we are feeling some dissatisfaction, some distress, some anxiety in devotional service. It's actually a blessing from Krishna, a sign that we need to take that as a message that there's something I need to adjust. Somehow I have to improve my devotion, my focus, my hearing, my chanting, my association with others, so that I can enter into this spiritual realm, because that is actually the goal. And a very important part of that devotional service is also our relationship with the Vaishnavas, and how we are able to relate with others. Because as Lord Kapila is saying, you can worship the Lord, but if you're not thinking favorably of the Vaishnavas, he's not so pleased by that. So our relationships with others is very important in devotional service, to cultivate loving relationships of respect and appreciation, and to avoid those kind of negative thoughts. So Bhagavatam also describes in 10th canto how that one should see everything as Krishna's mercy. That adversity, one should think that I deserve to be in a much worse situation, but by the mercy of Krishna, it's been minimized almost to nil. this situation, but Krishna is kindly giving me some good facilities, so thank you, my dear Lord. And that verse describes Mukti Pade Sadayava, that one who has this attitude of seeing every situation as Krishna's mercy, whether it's good or whether it's bad. Mukti Pade Sadayava that's translated literally as it's like your right of inheritance to go back to Godhead. We have this mood of seeing all situations as Krishna's mercy, favorable and unfavorable. So if we're seeing that some things are favorable and some are unfavorable, if our ticket back to Godhead is to see everything equally, and we're not seeing it equally, somehow we haven't really qualified to get the ticket. So those opportunities to develop those kinds of qualities of patience and humility and developing respect, that's how we get the ticket back to Godhead, by becoming patient and tolerant and humble. And living in community or living within family, marriage, those situations are actually very excellent opportunities for developing these qualities. Several years ago, I performed a wedding in New York, and Radhanath Maharaj was there. He spoke at the wedding. And he said, actually, the Grihastha ashram, he said, it's the best ashram for making spiritual advancement. He said, because to be peaceful and successful in the Grihastha ashram, you have to be humble, and tolerant, and respectful, and compassionate, and kind. And he said, those are the qualities you need for pure devotional service. So he said, it's very fertile ground. So we should never see that our situation is an impediment to our devotional service. Rather, somehow, it's an opportunity for us to try to learn to practice those qualities of humility and tolerance and patience. And Krishna will give us those opportunities. And as difficult as it may be, somehow we have to embrace those situations as opportunities to qualify for this ticket of entering into this beautiful spiritual transcendental realm. In 1973, Srila Prabhupada wrote a letter to our community. Actually, it was a letter which contained his blessings for us to get second initiation, my wife and myself. And he had been given some description of this farm project we had